What kind of hand is this?
It is a severed hand from. Okay, I won't do the voice. Okay, if you want a super straightforward guide on the final puzzle, skip to this time. If you want an in depth guide showing you how we find all the clues for the final code of the final puzzle, keep watching. So you just got out of the basement and you're left with this disgusting hand, wondering, what the heck am I supposed to do with this? You can't discard it, so what's its purpose? Well, I have some good news and some bad news. The good news is that it's part of the final puzzle, where the description reads, "Let the sweet pear hear the voice." The bad news is that the first step of the puzzle was in the basement, and you can't go back. Unless you have a save from before the conveyor part in the basement, you'll have to start a new game and reach this point again. This puzzle can't be solved in a single playthrough. It requires a key item that carries over to your next game, so get ready for a long stretch of puzzle solving. The first step of this mysterious puzzle begins in the basement processing area, where zombie bodies are dropped into a vat of blood for harvesting. As soon as you arrive, save your game in a new slot. Do not turn the valve to stop the conveyor. You must wait here for 15 minutes while the infected are dropped in. We are replicating the procedure recorded in a note, where they harvested blood from 115 infected and injected a sample into Marie, registered as subject 170. While it takes about 2 minutes for 115 bodies to drop in, the first step won't register until about 15 minutes have passed, so I'd wait almost 20 minutes just to be safe. So go make a tea, relax, or watch some reels until over 15 minutes have passed. If you're using a controller, it may turn off after 15 minutes, so give the joystick a little jiggle after 7 minutes or so to avoid this. Once your time is up, save again, but in a different slot than before. In fact, I recommend saving before every step of this puzzle in case you make a mistake. Now you may turn the valve to stop the conveyor and drain the vat of blood. We can now drop into the processor, but this part gets a little tricky. The blood processor will activate and we must back right up against this wall and try not to kill any of the zombies. We need as many as possible to be harvested, so we must shoot them in the legs to down them and watch them get minced. As long as you keep backing up and shooting the zombies in the legs, everything will be okay. Once the blood processing is finished, you can grab the final joint plug and exit this room. When you drop into the pool of blood, the game will confirm you've harvested enough blood by showing you a message prompt after you pull this lever. I recommend looking away from the lever after pulling it, as the message might be interrupted by the collection and testing prompt. When the blood drains, a message saying a ton of blood flowed out will pop up. That's the message you want. If you see a message saying a lot of blood flowed out, then not enough blood was harvested and you'll need to reload the save from when you first entered the conveyor room, wait over 15 minutes, and survive the processing steps again. Once you've collected enough blood, you can progress the story until you exit the basement. If you thought, okay, now the hand is the next step of this puzzle, you're wrong. But if you believed flushing a toilet 8 times was the next step, then you're absolutely right. You may take the hand if you want, but it's not necessary if you're just after the items for the final puzzle. The hand is still part of this puzzle, but not essential. You'll understand what I mean. First, make sure your hands are free, then head to the west wing to access the restroom. If you're wondering why we need to flush a toilet 8 times, check Grace's investigation report on page 4, which shows a body leaning against a toilet, with the number 8 scrawled on the wall behind him. This guy had the right idea, but he was in the wrong building and died in the process. What an idiot, dude. After flushing the toilet 8 times, This will somehow move all the processed blood from the basement to the secret research facility hidden beneath the care center's courtyard. These next steps of the puzzle are optional. They only reveal the meaning behind the final code and are not necessary if you just want to finish the puzzle. Skip to this time where we collect this doll, which is the key to the final puzzle, or keep watching to decipher the hidden message that the severed hand reveals. To obtain the hidden message from the severed hand, go to either of the blood microscopes in the care center and have it analyze the severed hand. The puzzle to activate all the atoms in the blood is the same as one of the blood samples you can obtain in the care center. It's not too difficult. Once it's solved, instead of crafting recipes, you get this message with an RNA sequence at the bottom. What do these letters mean? This is where your big scavenger hunt begins. Starting right here at the blood microscope. If you crouch down in first person or activate the microscope, you'll see a sticker at the bottom that says G equals 150 million. For you space enthusiasts, you will know that the sun is approximately 150 million kilometers from Earth. So, if you make your tiny brains work a little bit, you will realize that the letter G equals sun. And what else in this game involves the sun? Yes, the safe that holds the quartz cubes, specifically the star quartz safe in the lead researcher's office, which still has interactable buttons. If the RNA sequence has 4 letters and we figured out what G means, then that means we still need to decipher what the other 3 letters are. But there are only 3 symbols on the safe. Let's keep digging. It's now okay to leave the care center. Just remember to save first in case you missed anything. When you reach this room in the house in the courtyard, pick up the hourglass and flip it upside down. The sand will drain from the top, revealing another hidden clue. U equals 380,000. Based on our previous clue, we can deduce that this number must be the distance to the moon in kilometers, since a star would be a much larger number. So the letter U equals moon. You can keep this hourglass if you want, but you don't have to. That just leaves the star, and then whatever the remaining letter means. Thankfully, the next clue is shortly after this one. Before you grab the helicopter keys, there's a report on Grace's blood analysis in the room just before that. The bottom of the report says C equals 4.2 LY. Well, we know a star is not 4.2 kilometers away, but the nearest star besides our very own sun is 4.2 light years away. So the letter C equals star. The final letter can be solved later as Leon, but jumping to that solution will skip the most integral part of this puzzle, which you absolutely need for it to work. So skip to this time so you don't miss this crucial piece of the puzzle. Then I'll remind you to come back to this part to see Leon decipher what the letter A means. In central Raccoon City, where you revisit Gunshop Kendo, there's a headless toy uncle Bobblehead lying on the floor in the back. You can't interact with it yet. But after defeating a familiar boss, there's a basketball court you can explore and find his head. What you need to do next is to kick his head through the rim of the basketball hoop just over there. If you've got enough skill and manage to kick it through, you'll hear a metallic sound and be able to interact with the hoop to see a message saying, "There's no time for playing around." No time for playing. The whole point of this scavenger hunt is because you literally said, "Let's play." Make up your mind, girl. Return to the headless bobblehead in the gun shop, and now you can interact with it. A very complicated message will pop up, and it will say, just ignore A. Are you serious? With that shocking revelation, the RNA sequence is cut down to this. This is the final code you need to input into the Star Quartz safe. But you just require one more crucial item. The doll. Everything you've done, the waiting 15 minutes, harvesting blood, flushing 8 times, all lead to this moment. If this doll doesn't appear, then one of the previous steps was not completed correctly. After the self-destruct sequence has been initiated in the research facility beneath the care center courtyard, when you enter the second large room full of blister heads and the giant blood tank that explodes, this is where the game will confirm if all of your previous efforts have succeeded. If this doll is floating at the bottom of the stairs, then you did everything right so far. Pick up Marie's doll. Now, this item must be placed in an item box as soon as possible. Do not keep it in your inventory. The next item box will be in the water treatment plant. Place it there and then finish the game. It will carry over to your next playthrough. In your next playthrough, progress through the game until you escape the care center's basement. Keep Emily with you, go to your item box, collect Marie's doll, and head to the lead researcher's office in the East Wing. Finally, you can enter this code. Sun, sun, star, sun, moon, star, sun, moon, sun, moon, star, moon. If done correctly, you will hear congratulations, you let the sweet pair hear the voice. You're rewarded with 20,000 CP. And now I'm going to have to call the police on you. But there you go. You did it. Give yourself a big pat on the back. If this didn't work for you, then you should be so embarrassed. This guide was made to make sure you didn't mess anything up, and you still did. I even made sure to tell you all to save before each step and put the doll in your item box. Literally, some guides I've seen didn't even mention that. This guide may seem complicated at first, but to complete the challenge, you just need to wait 15 minutes, harvest blood, flush 8 times, collect the doll, and then enter the code. The large scavenger hunt that people and idiots like me went through to decipher the RNA sequence is optional. Comment what you're going to spend all that CP on. I recommend saving it up for infinite ammo to make your insanity run easier. That's what I did, and I am so glad I didn't spend it on Leon's RPG 7. Grace's parts are still so difficult on insanity, even with the infinite ammo. Thank you all so much for watching this guide. I know it can be a little intimidating, and that it takes more than one playthrough is tough. Hopefully this guide was thorough enough and straightforward as well. Like this video if this guide worked, or if you've ever eaten your own boogers. Subscribe and check out some of my memes from your favorite games. I also have a complete playthrough of Resident Evil Requiem, as well as many other horror games, including other Resident Evil titles. Check them out. It helps my tiny channel and my frail ego. I still have to put in the low attention span guide. Here we go. Welcome to the super straightforward guide. Head to the processing room in the basement of the care center. If you've already passed this point and don't have a save from before entering this room, I have some bad news. When you enter this room with the conveyor of bodies, save your game in a new slot. Do not turn the valve. Watch the bodies drop for 16 to 20 minutes. If you're playing with a controller, give it a little jiggle every once in a while to prevent it from turning off after 15 minutes. After the time has passed, save in a new slot. Turn the valve, survive the processing portion by downing the zombies by shooting their legs. Do not kill them. Just keep backing up against the wall behind you and just keep shooting their legs. After this portion, continue game objectives until you get dropped into this pool of blood. Pull the nearby lever, look at the pool, and a prompt will say, "A ton of blood flowed out." That's good. If it says, "A lot of blood flowed out," reload your first save and repeat the first 2 steps. Continue story mode until you escape the basement. Go to the restroom in the west wing and flush any toilet 8 times. Leave the care center and advance the story until the self-destruction sequence is initiated in the research facility. In the large room with the blister heads and the giant exploding blood tank, find Marie's doll at the bottom of the stairs. If it's not there, you did a step wrong. Reload step 1, save, and do it all again. Put Marie's doll in an item box. Do not keep it in your inventory. The next item box is in the water treatment plant. Finish the main story, start the next playthrough, and continue until you escape the basement once again. Keep Emily with you and grab the doll from your item box. It should still be there from your previous playthrough. Go to the lead researcher's office and type in this code: sun, sun, star, sun, moon, star, sun, moon, sun, moon, star, moon. If done correctly, you will hear, "Congratulations, you let the sweet pair hear the voice." You're rewarded with 20,000 CP. And now I'm going to have to call the police on you. But there you go. You did it. Give yourself a big pat on the back. If this didn't work for you, then you should be so embarrassed. This guide was made to make sure you didn't mess anything up, and you still did. I even made sure to tell you all to save before each step and put the doll in your item box. Literally, some guides I've seen didn't even mention that. Comment what you're going to spend all that CP on. I recommend saving it up for infinite ammo to make your insanity run easier. That's what I did, and I am so glad I didn't spend it on Leon's RPG 7. Grace's parts are still so difficult on insanity, even with the infinite ammo. Thank you all so much for watching this guide. I know it can be a little intimidating, and that it takes more than one playthrough is tough. Hopefully this guide was thorough enough and straightforward as well. Like this video if this guide worked, or if you've ever eaten your own boogers. Subscribe and check out some of my memes from your favorite games. I also have a complete playthrough of Resident Evil Requiem, as well as many other horror games, including other Resident Evil titles. Check them out. It helps my tiny channel and my frail ego.
Hey, what did you think about that video? Pretty neat, huh? I'll just wait until you hit that like button and subscribe. Did you do it? Sure. Well, what about memes? Here's a playlist of Lost Zos's memes from your favorite games. Oh, look at this. You could have your name here too if you join Lost Zos's Patreon. There are tutorials, playthroughs of games when mom and dad weren't home, exclusive and early access to playthroughs like Fear and Hunger, Shadow Warrior, and the critically acclaimed Deus Ex. I'm in it. Did that convince you? What a shame. I was depending on you.